I'm going to start by asking you all a question. What if time ran backwards? Now, with that in mind, I'm also going to make myself some breakfast at like 6:25 in the evening, just to keep the theme. So anyway, why wouldn't I? Because the fundamental laws of physics don't actually care whether time runs backwards or forwards. In fact, they don't even specify a forward direction. If you look at the video of this talk later on and play it in reverse, you wouldn't see anything strange or unphysical happen. Until now. Right. I love scrambled eggs in the morning, but just like the tragic tale of Humpty Dumpty, all the king's horses and all the king's men cannot undo what I've just done here. But why not? Now, this sounds like a kind of stupid question, but it was actually one that gave a great deal of difficulty to scientists just over 100 years ago. Like, all the pieces of the egg are still here, but why can't I unbreak an egg? And while we're at it, why can't we unburn a match? Or untoast some bread, for that matter? Well, it turns out that all these questions are answered by just one word, and that's entropy. Now, those of you looking at me without confused faces have probably heard of something called the Second Law of Thermodynamics, which states that the entropy of an isolated system will only increase over time. Wonderful. So what is this mysterious quantity? Well, quite simply, entropy counts the number of ways that the atoms in a system and the energy that they carry can be arranged. Think of my egg. There are countless arrangements of particles that make a broken egg, but only one that makes the whole one that I held in my hand just 1 minute ago. So we say that the broken egg has got a much higher entropy than the full one, and that's why eggs go from unbroken to broken and not the other way around. Now, no discussion of entropy or a good breakfast would be complete without a nice cup of tea. You see, when I put the milk in like this, I'm putting the milk on my tea for those at the back who can't see it, it all starts off in the one place, naturally enough. But now this arrangement where we've got all the milk here and all the tea around it is actually like quite a specific one, and for that reason it's got quite a low entropy. But if we just leave the mug down there for a while, we know it's all going to reach the same temperature and it's going to turn that lovely milky brown colour that we all know and love. Now this even mix of tea and milk has got a much higher entropy, because if you switch the positions of any two little droplets of tea in there, it's going to look the exact same. It's so overwhelmingly likely that your tea is going to end up in this even mix that it can never go back to its low entropy separated state. All right, now would this even be a physics talk if I didn't link everything back to where we all came from and how the universe is eventually going to end? You see, if the entropy of the entire universe is always increasing, then at some point in the past, it must have been very low, which is just like the Big Bang, as we heard earlier. Just like the milk in my tea, all the matter and energy in the universe was initially all clumped together, and it's been expanding over time. But we know that the entropy of a cup of tea will eventually reach its nice milky maximum. So what about the universe? Well, it could happen. What happens if all the energy in the universe and all the matter reaches the same temperature and everything is the same energy? Well, that actually means that nothing could happen. There'd be no stars, no planets, and definitely no life. And this is why this is called heat death. But before you start to panic, don't worry. Physicists actually realize now that the universe isn't really that much like a cup of tea, so we might be safe. But the bad news about this is we don't really know what's going to happen in the future. But at least in the short term, because we can break eggs, we know that the future looks a little bit different from the past. Thanks very much.